Welcome to Beat Diabetes. When your A1C has come down quite a bit, your glucose is fairly stable, could you still have insulin resistance? And if so, how do you get rid of that? In this comment, this individual says, let me get this straight concerning insulin resistance. I've already been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I eat low carb and now my A1C is 5.5, so I'm not on any medications. Well, that is great. That's wonderful. My glucose is stable because I eat low carb. Well, that's typically what happens. When you cut those carbohydrates, your glucose stabilizes, which is a very good thing. But they go on to say, are you saying there's still something else I need to be doing for this metabolic syndrome? I thought I was good eating low carb and keeping my A1C and my glucose stable 24/7. So they're asking, could I still have metabolic syndrome? Could I still have insulin resistance? Is there anything to be concerned about? Well, I will say this. By eating low carb, you're doing yourself a world of good for sure, and you're getting your numbers down. That's great. That's wonderful. You could still have some insulin resistance, some metabolic syndrome. That is true. According to many experts, at the heart of metabolic syndrome and insulin resistance is a liver that's stuffed with fat. And Dr. Jason Fung likes to describe the two approaches to dealing with insulin resistance. He said, number one, you got to stop putting carbs and sugar into your body and jamming your cells with sugar and fat. And so you do that by eating a low-carb diet. You stop adding to cells that are saturated with sugar and fat. But number two, you do intermittent fasting to kind of drain the sugar and the fat that's in them already. So you want to stop adding to, and then you want to start burning off until you get your cells of your body and your liver particularly lean and mean. So if you've gone low carb and your glucose comes down, which it typically will, almost always, you've stopped bringing in the carbs and the sugars, adding to the fat in your liver, adding to the fat in your cells, and so forth. That's wonderful. But you want to find a way to burn off what you've been building up. It's kind of like if a person brings a rat to your house every day and drops off a little rat, sneaks into your house and drops off a rat. And so day one, you got one rat. Day two, you've got two rats. And now he's been doing it for 2 weeks. You've got 14 little rats running around your house. And finally, you realize what's going on, and you stop the guy. You punch him in the nose and tell him, don't ever come again. So he gets scared. He'll never come and bother you again. So you're no longer adding to your house full of rats. You've got your 14 rats he's brought those last 14 days, but he's so scared and his nose is so sore from your punch that he won't come back anymore. So you've done yourself a lot of good. You've stopped the man from bringing rats into your house, but you're still stuck with those 14 he's already brought in. So now you got to trap those rats or do whatever you have to do to get rid of those rats. And then once you've got rid of the 14 that he already brought in, you got a clean house, no rats at all is well. I'm thinking about rats. One time Benedict and I were in, I think it was India. Yeah, it was India. And there was, I don't know how I get off on some of these things, but anyway, we were in a room where there was a rat, and he was no small rat. And I didn't actually see him, but we could tell from the way he bothered things when we were out of the room that there was a pretty big animal. And I was sure it was a rat. And while I was sleeping one time, Benedict and I were sleeping, and I felt the rat going across the bed near our heads. I did not like that feeling at all. And finally, we complained to the hotel owner, and he put us in another room. And I'll never forget, Benedict and I were having a time of prayer, and I prayed, Lord, don't let that rat follow us into this room. And she just laughed and thought that was the funniest thing. She thought, you take a rat so seriously, you're going to pray about him not coming into the room? But to me, yeah, I didn't want that rat following me, so I prayed about it. But anyway, I'm getting way off track. Anyway, the point is, You got to not only stop this guy from bringing rats into your house, you got to find a way to get rid of the rats that are already there. So it is with the last 20 years you've been eating carbs and sugars and all kinds of junk food, and you're putting fat on your liver, fat on your pancreas, fat in all the cells of your body. You go low carb, your blood sugar comes down. That's great. But you may have some residual fat and problems and stuffed cells and a fatty liver left over from all those years where you were packing it in. And so one of the keys to burn off what's been left there residually from the years that you did not watch your diet carefully, one of the keys is burn off that fat by intermittent fasting. And maybe it will even require some longer fasts if your doctor gives you the okay. I don't recommend fasting for people that are on diabetic meds or definitely insulin. It's too tricky, and you could get a hypo. But if you're not on the meds and you're not on the insulin and your doctor gives you the okay, then doing some fasting can help burn that off. Low carb by itself can also do it. It just does it slower. The fasting burns it off faster. And if you can't, for whatever reason, fast completely, you can do a carb fast. Another word for that is a carnivore season. I'm not fully carnivore. I've never really believed that's the right way to go. But I'll have a carnivore meal, and I have no problem with a carnivore day. Just saying, well, today, no carbs. I'll eat meat, I'll eat eggs, I'll drink water, but there'll be absolutely no carbs involved. Well, an egg might have about 1/2 of a gram of carb per egg. But anyway, you can do a carb fast, a serious carb fast, and just eat meat for a day if you can't fast the other way. Did you ever wonder why YouTubers are always asking you to like, share, and comment? It's not really that we're all egotists and we love to have a lot of positive reinforcement. It's because we know that the YouTube algorithm keeps track of these things and rewards videos that have a lot of viewer interaction by promoting them to other people. So when people go to YouTube, they'll find that video near the top of their feed, and in turn, these videos will become more popular still. So if this channel has been a blessing to you, help us out by clicking the thumbs up, making a comment, and sharing it with someone you think might benefit from it. Thank you so much, and God bless you.